Hello, my fellow Americans. I am John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and I am going to tell you about my life, starting with my childhood. This is the house I grew up in. I was born May 29th, 1917, in Brooklyn, Massachusetts. My parents were rich and competitive, but I was known as adventurous. My father's name was Joe Patrick Kennedy. He went to Harvard, he was a banker businessman, and he was named after his father. My mother's name was Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy. She was the daughter of Boston's mayor. She showed no affection, and she had to hire nannies and maids because she had no time. Together they had 9 kids in total. I was the second oldest. As I said before, my parents were rich, so I never really had to work for anything, although I did have chores and I got 70 cents a week. Education was hard because I was sick a lot and I couldn't make it to school when I'm sick. I've only been to one public school. The rest of them were private schools like Dexter, Riverdale, and Canterbury. For college, I went to Princeton, but I had to leave because I had a disease. Therefore, I left school. Then I went to Harvard to follow in the footsteps of my father. But finally, I went to Stanford, and I made the right choice. My life before the presidency was very busy. My jobs were I was a Navy officer on a very large boat. I saved 10 people in the line of command. And because of my health issues, I wasn't accepted without my father's help. Then, I was an author. When my brother died, I wrote a book about him. It's called As We Remember Joe. And after that, I wrote magazines and newspapers. Finally, I was a congressman. I got in Congress at 29. I got 22,000 votes, 2 times my competitor. 2 times. Soon after I got in Congress, I met the love of my life, Jacqueline Bonheur Kennedy.
Hello. Mwah. I am Jacqueline. I was born in Southampton, New York, July 28, 1929. I was 12 years younger than John F. Kennedy. I went to 2 colleges in Paris and George Washington College. I am very cultured and artistic. I spoke French, Italian, and Spanish. I loved horseback riding, reading, writing, and painting. We were married in 1953. I was the daughter of a stockbroker, and unfortunately, I had a premature baby in 1963 named Patrick. Together, we had 2 beautiful children. Caroline Bonheur Kennedy, which was our oldest daughter. In 1957 she was born, and still living today. And then our little boy, John Fitzgerald Jr. He is our youngest, born in 1960, and he died in 1999.
Thank you for that, honey. My highlights during the presidency were very important, starting with my campaign. It was Nixon versus John F. Kennedy, and you know who won that race. My running mate was Lyndon Baines Johnson. My election, I got 49.7% of the country vote, and Nixon only got 49.5%. I got 303 electoral votes, while Nixon only got 219. My inauguration was on January 20th, 1961, in Washington, D.C. Life in the White House was very delightful. It was clean, but it was busy, and it buzzed with activities. While president, I had many accomplishments and failures. I had a short-term legislation to pull country out of a recession. I created the Peace Corps. I stopped numerous nuclear tests, and I backed up the Cuban Bay of Pigs threat. My failures and scandals was I was assassinated, and I had numerous affairs, including one with Marilyn Monroe.
You've been away from my man!
I unfortunately didn't have a retirement. I was assassinated. I was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, 1963, November 22nd, when Lee Harvey Oswald shot a sniper into the back of my head and neck. I was 46, and I was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. Here is my grave. There I am, buried. Some personal facts I thought you might enjoy was I had numerous back injuries. My nickname was Honey Fitz, and I survived 2 fatal illnesses. Plus, I was the first Kennedy to serve in the Navy. I also won the Pulitzer Prize for my book, As We Remember Joe. The Pulitzer Prize is a book-related award. Facts are: I was the first president born in the 20th century. I was the first Catholic president. I served for only the first 1,000 days. And my favorite state, Illinois, voted for the most for me, so that helped me win my election. Dun, 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 dun. I hope to enjoy learning about me, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Over and out.